Hey guys, it's Matt with Disney Pins blog, here to show you another piece of my Disney pin collection. And today I'm going to show you my most memorable, unique pins, and I have this all in this one collection here. So I want to get started with the Art of Animation Resort pin. It's one of my favorite hotels at Walt Disney World. I know they have the fancy ones, but this one shows all the heart and the classic characters of Disney and Pixar, and it really holds a special place in my collection here, and I really like this pin, and I also showcased the great adventures that I had on this trip, so it was definitely a pin I needed to have. This pin kind of symbolizes when I saw the advanced screening of Big Hero 6, and it was a surprise that I got it, as well as I really like the movie. I really like Baymax, so this is a great pin. I believe this is an open edition, and so was the Art of Animation pin. This pin here was the first time I went to the Not So Scary Halloween party back in 2014, and I believe it's a pin-on-pin design. You see this is another pin here, and then you have the rubber for the pumpkin. I believe this was also an annual pass holder exclusive, so I was really happy to get this pin for my first time over there. This pin here was also the first time I've been to the Epcot Food and Wine Festival back in 2014. And what I really like this pin, because it's also an annual pass holder pin, is that it's a hinge pin. It kind of goes into, you see the Epcot ball in the background. You have Goofy stirring up some sauce that kind of dripped on Donald, who's also stirring up some sauce there. It looks like two. And then you have Mickey kind of celebrating the Food and Wine Festival. So I think that's a pretty cool pin to have there. Next, I really like this pin. It's a really simple year pin, 2015. I thought that for me, 2015 was a big year for Disney. I was going a lot, and I discovered a lot about Disney that year. So I think it's a good pin to have for me to symbolize that. This one comes with a little bit of a story. Even though this is an open edition pin, you can probably find them everywhere now. But back when the Frozen movie came out, this pin was a hot commodity, and it was very rare to find. And I was trying to buy it all over the place, and I couldn't find it. And I had to give it at least about another 6 months to almost 10 months later before I was able to get this pin. So this kind of symbolizes the struggle I had to get this pin. But also, as much as I'm not a big Frozen fan, I do like Olaf, and I think he's pretty cool as well. Next, we're kind of going into my Disney Cruise Line collection here. I've been on 2 Disney Cruise Line, one on the Wonder, and the other one on the Dream. But this one kind of symbolizes the great fun I had on the Disney Dream. First, ducking, flying out, and the Aqueduct at one of the great attractions over on the Disney Dream. It's a great fun ride, and I remember just going back and back. I think I rode it like 8 times in a row right before on our last night of the cruise. So this pin symbolizes the great fun that I had. And this one just a generic Disney Cruise Line pin. Again, it kind of symbolizes the whole experience, and I had a lot of fun on it. And this was kind of, I didn't get this pin series at the cruise line. Here's all 6 of them here, but it symbolizes all the great fun you have on a cruise line. And actually, almost what got me into pin trading, it was when I was on the cruise. I was with Megan, who was an avid pin trader then, and I was helping her find all these pins, and we end up, I think they were like in a blind pack of 1. We ended up trading a whole bunch of pins within 10 minutes because everyone had these pins on their lanyards on the cruise. So it was really fun to do. And then when I started pin trading, I was able to acquire these pins through different events. So you kind of see here the best. I put these in order of how I liked the experience. So first you had the food, which was unbelievable. Then you go in the pool, which was really fun. And then you go in to see the theater and the shows, which were amazing. Then it kind of goes into your room, which you have a nice, it was a really nice room, a good sleep there. And then you had the spa, which I never really did. And then you had the nightclub atmosphere, which I also never really did. But yeah, this is like a great set to have Disney characters representing things you do on the cruise. So that's a really good set I like to have. These 2 pins kind of featured the Contemporary, though. I've never stayed at the Contemporary. I've been visited there a lot. I like to go there for pin trading at the store because I have really nice pins there. I've eaten at Chef Mickey. We always pass through there in the monorail. And so I think these are 2, even though I've never been there, it's still a good representation of what I always do when I'm there, just to visit the hotel. I think it's a really nice hotel. And one day, I would love to stay there. And then we have these two pins down here. These were, I believe, I found this one in a trading book over at Hollywood Studios. And I thought it was a beautiful pin featuring the Tower of Terror and the Maleficent Dragon. Kind of like right behind the Tower of Terror is the Phantasmic Show, and I really like the Phantasmic Show. So I think it's a good combination of all the pins, and so yeah, I really like this pin. And this almost looks like the Haunted Mansion too, kind of like all horrors of Disney parks. So I think it's a great pin. And this one, I ended up finding this pin. I think I traded it again, and this pin kind of represents a good of one of my favorite movies that Disney has is Pirates of the Caribbean. I love the series, and this medallion here kind of symbolizes the first movie in a nutshell, kind of everything that they represent. So when I found this pin, somebody was wearing it when I was in line at Buzz Lightyear, and I asked him where he found it. And he said it was an open edition. Sure enough, it was, but I ended up actually finding this off of a cast member lanyard, so that was a good find there. Next, we're going to go into the Osborne Family Spectacular of Dancing Lights 2015 pin. This is one of the last pins that they had before they shut down. I believe it's a pin, like these are two separate pins of pin-on-pin design. And I really loved the show. I was really sad to hear that it went away. And I was happy to grab a piece of that, of the last year, since I had the chance to. Next, I also had a chance to go to New Year's for 2015 and 2016, and so I was there, and you can check out the firework show on our YouTube channel from 2015 to 2016. I already like this pin of Peter Pan because it says Happy New Year, Walt Disney World Resort, and it says 2015 on it, and then we have Tink, and you slide it over, and then it says 2016. I think it's a great New Year's pin, and I like getting pins that when I experience something for the first time, and this is definitely one of them. Next, we're going into my piece of history collection. I only have two because even though I do love the piece of history pins, I only like to get the piece of histories that mean something to me. And this one in particular, I love the hat, and I was really sad to see it go. But even though it looks nice over at Hollywood Studios, the icon for Hollywood Studios will always be the hat. Like most people, they always call it MGM and will never be Hollywood Studios. For me, the symbol will always be the hat and nothing else. And so when I found out they had a piece of history pin, I know I have to get it. I believe this was a piece of the hat, obviously, and yeah, I was really sad to see it go, and definitely holds a special place for me. This next pin is I really like the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, but I think I like more of Jack Sparrow, and I really like the scene at the end when he's kind of immersed in all the gold. And yeah, I think it's really cool to see like he has his hat up here. I think this is a piece of one of his clothing, maybe this piece right here, and he's holding the treasure and he's sitting. I think it's a great pin to have for any Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Next, we have the carousel, the Characters of Flight hot air balloon pin. This pin was achieved when I went on the hot air balloon in Disney Springs. This pin's really special to me because it took me about 8 months to actually go on this. I was able to get a coupon or a Groupon to go on this attraction, but every time we tried to go on it, we never had a chance to. It was always either it was raining or the winds weren't too good, and so it took us about 8 months to finally get to this attraction. So it was nice to finally do it and then finally get this pin for it as well. These two pins but this is a Tomorrowland pin. I really like the movie despite what the box office says. I thought it was a great movie, and I think it's a great pin to have because this symbolizes the movie very well. So far, I think this is the best animated movie of 2016, and these were actually AMC pins. So if you saw the movie at an AMC theater, you get a pin. You either got Nick Wilde, Judy Hopps, or Flash the Sloth. And so I was able to get these two. I was not able to get the Sloth. I believe he was a rare one to get. But I think this is a great representation. There's not a lot of Zootopia pins out right now. And I think these are great to have because I really like the movie. Next, we're going into the Frozen Ever After attraction pin. This was the first pin and only pin to come out as of right now when the attraction came out. And this symbolizes the first time that I've ever been to a grand opening of a ride. I was there. I was one of the first people to ride it within the first 3 hours of its opening. And I was really happy to do that. And I wanted to get this pin to showcase that I've been to a grand opening of an attraction. This kind of reminds me of it. And it's also a really nice, well-rounded pin. You have Elsa and Anna and Olaf and the little Smogies here. I think it's and you have Marshmallow, and these are all the characters from the attraction as well as the movies and the short. And I think it's a great pin to have if you're a Frozen fan, or if you like the attraction as well. I think this pin is pretty unique in itself. It's Olaf and all these the little Smokies are carrying him, and I think it's really cool. This came out the same time that the Frozen pin came out, so they kind of go hand in hand. But there's also a nice Olaf pin, like I said earlier. I do like Olaf. And this last pin is one of the most recent pins that I got. Is a Diploma of Excellency Graduation 2015. I really love this pin. It's Mickey with his cap and gown on, and he's taking a selfie of his of his diploma. And this kind of represents that I graduated college in 2016, or I will graduate college in 2016 in December of 2016. So I know this pin would not be there, and I knew I was going to graduate in 2016, so I decided to get this pin for that recognition. And it's also a great memory to have that Disney was with me my entire college years, so that was pretty cool to have. But yeah, so this is my there's only one page. This is my memorable unique collection that really holds a lot of brings back a lot of memories when I look at this page, and I thought I really wanted to showcase this to you guys. But be sure to check back on our YouTube channel for more of our Disney Pins videos, and thanks for watching. See ya.